Hello, everybody. I'm Mel Worthy, and today I wanted to talk about something pretty darn important. Um, I'm actually really upset that I have to make this video because I wasn't going to make a video about it. In fact, this is the last thing I wanted to do. I know you're thinking, hey, why make the video? Well, because apparently the channel and I don't know, the family of Technoblade is being absolutely tarnished and disrespected. And it sucks because the last thing I think anyone wants is for the family to be having to deal with more distress than they need to be. And God, I don't really know what I would think if, like when I die someday, if my family had to deal with seeing my channel's legacy be tarnished, or be disrespected in some way that they don't want. It's really hard to talk about controversial things on the internet, not because it's controversial itself, but because of people's reaction to it. And I think that watching how many people have tried to get a lot of money off of Technoblade's passing is really just the most shameful part of the whole situation. I'm not going to name names or mention anyone specific, just because I don't think it's right to, give them any more attention than they deserve. But I'm pretty sure if you're watching, you know who they are anyway. But I want to tell a story about, my own experience with losing a loved one. When I was, I want to say when I was 12, but I'm probably wrong. I was young. I didn't really understand things very much, and I remember I had originally been planned to go to a friend's house in Seattle to just hang out, play date. You know how it is when you're young. And I was told by my mom that, hey, my grandma's dying, and I might have, one less chance to go and see her. And, I was immature, and, I wasn't very, I don't know, I wasn't a very, very smart kid in terms of taking things very seriously, but something in me, I guess, must have made me think, it's probably important that I go see my grandma. And, I remember when I would. There's a time when my family would have to live at my grandma's house because we couldn't afford to have our own house, or we were waiting for some loan to go through. I'm not sure, but for most of my time in middle school, I was living with my grandparents, and I remember my grandma. She always used to tell me that she didn't mind, having us there, and she was grateful just to help out, which I always appreciated. And I remember my both my grandpa and my grandma, they'd often, because it's middle school, and I never really talked about relationship stuff with them, but they always said that they'd be really excited to, see what kind of a girl I'd bring home, and they want to meet her and make sure she's good, And my grandma would always joke that she'd want to make sure I pick out a good wife, right? And I think that's what led me to being really picky also as I grew up, was part of the conversation. But I don't know, I always remember her telling me that, she wants to help me find a good wife, she wants to, make sure that when she sees the person I marry that, she's confident that they're going to treat me right and stuff. Well, that didn't happen. She died when I was, I think, 12, and she never got to see me get married, and she didn't even see me date anybody at all. I was just too young, that's how it goes. And I'm really fortunate that I got to, I'm just really glad that my grandpa got to see me get married, because I know not only did it mean a lot to him, but it also would have meant a lot to my grandma to see that. And I know you know, I mean, that's life, right? You know, you can't predict things. And especially for me, you know, I don't talk about it very much, but I went on a lot of dates because I'm really picky about that kind of stuff. And again, I don't normally talk about that because that's not what the channel is for. But, you know, I'm really happy that I was able to get married and, you know, be with someone who I want to spend the rest of my life with now. And I don't know. I think deep down I always kind of wish that my grandma got to meet my wife and that she got to have the same opportunity that my grandpa did. You know, even though he's older and, you know, he's never talked about it, right? This is something I've always thought about to myself, is that, you know, I don't know. I've always wondered what my grandma would say. Because she helped, you know, raise me, especially with my mom and dad having troubles just due to me having a disability. You know, disabled babies are expensive, and, you know, she just really made an impact. You know, my grandma, she would tell me a story about the time that she was in Africa as a missionary, and how she was going on this, like, exploration, I guess, with, like, some other family on her side, and how they almost got attacked by a lion, and a lion actually wounded one of the, I think it was a tour guide, and she'd always talk about how she was really scared, and she was worried what was going to happen, but she was fortunate enough that, I think it was, like, her uncle, so maybe my great uncle, I'm not too sure. She always told the story better than I could. And she said, oh, you know, your uncle shot the lion and everyone got home safe. But I don't know, you can, like, the world's pretty messed up, and you never know when your last moment is. Certainly my grandma didn't expect it. None of us did in my family. We weren't ready for it. And even though I was still young at the time, and I don't think the impact really sunk in with me until I got older. I don't know. I just think about that a lot. And then when all this happened, right, we got to bring it back, you know. I watched the video, you know, of Technoblade's dad, you know, talking about Technoblade and reading his letter, and, you know, it sucks. And, you know, my heart goes out to the family of him. You know, Technoblade died the same way my grandma died, from cancer. And I'm just really upset and kind of heartbroken that people want to take advantage of the situation and use it to profit. And look, I get it. It's the internet. These things happen, but I don't know, it kind of struck a nerve with me on this one. Just seeing how many people were kind of exploiting the situation. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe, because that's not the point of the video. I don't even care if you like it, comment it, do anything. I don't know, the whole situation's just kind of just changed my perspective, I think, on YouTube. I want to make more stuff for me, I think. I love making you guys happy. I always have, and I always will. But I think more so than ever before, I'm just going to just make content for myself. I don't know how many more of these discussion videos I'm going to do. And hopefully there won't be too many more. But as of the time of this recording, I'm just at a loss for words a bit. Because, I don't know, I've always loved being an entertainer. I've always loved making people happy. But one thing I've always tried to emphasize is that I never try and, I don't know, be disrespectful of my viewers' intelligence and their time. And even though I didn't really watch Technoblade, look, I didn't really watch his stuff. I don't know much about him, but I don't know. Nobody deserves that kind of disrespect. Nobody. And I think I'm going to make another video talking about my stance, something a little more mature than this, surprisingly, that I'm sure people will hate on in the comments, all that garbage, but I don't care anymore. Because I'm just done with it. I'm done with people being disrespectful, and I don't know. I kind of wish the best for Technoblade's family. I hope that the donation to charity fund goes well, and I hope that that money's put to good use to go into good research, so that way less people can end up like my grandma did, or my Technoblade. So yeah, that's it. Fuck it. I'm not gonna be professional. I'm done. Have a good day, I guess, or whatever.